Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be doing a video, and well, I'm actually not going to be doing a video on any specific game, but what I am going to be doing is just talking about kind of the wrap-up of 2014's year of gaming, and mainly I just want to talk about kind of, probably the most talked about thing in the gaming community, right now, especially because, we're just getting out of 2014, everybody's kind of looking back and saying what games they liked the best from that year, what games, were the worst, and stuff like that. And probably the biggest negative thing that happened was most of the games, maybe not even most, maybe just a good majority, they came out like very buggy, laggy, and, like half finished, it felt like. And I would say the main contenders of that would be Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, the Master Chief Collection, and AC Unity. Now, I'm putting Battlefield 4 on there just because, well, it didn't come out last year, but I think it was up till last year until it didn't get fixed till last year. They released a couple patches, and after those patches, it worked, great. And before that, it worked kind of, fine, but it did have its problems. But and they're still having some lag issues on Call of Duty, and I don't ever think it's going to be fixed, honestly. I think it's just with the engine, and you can't really get past that, so I guess it's one of those things you have to deal with. But Master Chief Collection, most people, like, for the first week, and probably even now, the multiplayer doesn't really work that well. For the first week, it took you could find matches, but it would take like 20, 30, 40, an hour to waiting time to find a match. And why you could, I guess you just have to be grateful that the matchmaking did work, quote unquote. It just took a long time, and even now it's not even fixed. I mean, it's been out for what, almost 2 months now or something like that, and hadn't been fixed. Well, I'm really looking forward to finally, getting fixed. It's nice to have, maybe not even the multiplayer. The multiplayer for a couple of playlists is fine, I think. I found matches every time I've searched. Like the Halo Combat Evolved playlist, I've never had any problems with it. So I've been playing mainly it when I do play the Master Chief Collection multiplayer list. But for the most part, the campaigns also work very well. I've only had a couple problems with it, so it's nice to just have all the Halo games on, the Xbox One, and the 1080p and 60 FPS is a huge bonus. And for the last contender, I'd probably say the worst buggy game of last year's AC Unity. A lot of people said this game was unplayable at launch, and like the very first patch that they gave the game wasn't even to fix anything. Like it only added the locked macro transactions, and while it's okay for games to have some microtransactions, it's not okay for like your very first patch to unlock those microtransactions. Even though your game's broken, a lot of people say that the game was crashing every so often, and they couldn't play it, and stuff like that, laggy and everything. So mainly the one game I have to praise for this especially is Titanfall. While it feels kind of like an older shooter, and I had to understand that because it was Respawn's first game as Respawn. And if you guys don't know, that Respawn came when Vince Zampella. He got fired from Activision or Infinity Ward, what do you want to call it? Like their team either went with them to Respawn or went to other studios. But basically, the Infinity Ward that made Call of Duty Ghost isn't the same Infinity Ward that made, Modern Warfare 1 and 2. And so technically this is their first game after all that happened, and I enjoyed the heck out of Modern Warfare 2. So that's probably why I enjoy this so much. Is it kind of feels, you can definitely tell there's elements of that game in this game, like the way the loadouts work, you know, the balance is, and just even the graphic style. The graphic styles are, you know, kind of similar. But moving on from that, Titanfall does have some lacking qualities. Like there's not enough. It doesn't seem like there was too much like weapons, and there wasn't like too much customization. I mean, now there's more, but at launch there was almost nothing. It was just a couple weapons, a couple attachments, and a mod or two. It was like, here's your assault rifle, your one assault rifle. Here's your 3 sights. Slap one on there, and you can either have an extended clip or a suppressor. Why? Yeah, it would be nice to have those. They were simple. I would give them that. They were simple, and it actually kind of varied the gameplay every time you put one of those on, and it changed up your playstyle a little. You know, just a tiny bit, but still. And one thing I have to get them for is they use Xbox One's or Microsoft servers. I can't remember what they're called. I think it's the Azure servers, if I'm pronouncing that right. So they used those, and they ended up having probably the best connections of any game on Xbox One, honestly. If every game had those servers on Xbox One, I'm pretty sure we'd never have lag or anything, because this game, well, yeah, I've actually had some, you know, game migrations because they had some problems with servers. Not huge problems. It's, you know how it is. But nothing's always going to be 100% perfect. But for the most part, these servers work 99% of the time, or 99.9% of the time. So, and I would have to say that for the most part, that it worked flawlessly on launch. I had no problems on my end. The frame rate was stable, and it was enjoyable. I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say. Is 2014 was a great but tough year in gaming, and I'm looking forward to 2015, and hopefully we can look back on last year and kind of go from there and set that as a standard for, you know, what not to do. So I hope if you guys agree with me, you know, my opinion there, don't forget to, you know, comment, and if you don't, tell me why, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one.